third quarter about to get going.
We've seen LaMarcus Aldridge getting it done. He has 11 points and a pair of blocks to go along with those.
And he's been standing tall when they needed him.
It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. They've got Shane Larkin. Brooke Lopez is out there with Young. Then there's Wayne Ellington. And it's Johnson in at the 3.
Joe Johnson. That's his second personal foul.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
So he gets them both.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledged that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Now here's Johnson. Lopez a screen. Larkin kicks to Young. 5 to shoot. That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Lopez.
Another bucket in the paint. That's something they just have not been able to stop today.
Yeah, the defense is all about disrupting timing and spacing, and what they've got going right now is not getting it done.
That's good. And that's 10 points for Kawhi Leonard.
They're spraying them home from mid-range today, guys.
Finding the gaps in the defense and really just slicing and dicing them right now.
Now here's Ellington. Johnson in the corner. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard.
That's his first personal foul.
90 seconds now into the second half. And here is Johnson. 6 to shoot. Now the dish to Lopez. From the baseline. Can't get it to go. His 5th miss and 10 shots from the floor. Parker kicks to Green. They set the pick. Looking for Aldridge. He gets it there.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
He'll take his 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the game right here. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting, his rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination. And they're 1 of 4 here to start the second half.
Nobody near Leonard. Brooklyn with the rebound. Lopez has got 8 rebounds in this game. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Johnson dishes to Young. Back to Johnson. To the inside. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Thaddeus Young.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
And Leonard gets it to go.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control. And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
San Antonio making a switch here. Duncan's checked in. Here's Larkin, looking for his first basket still in this one. Offensive rebound, Young. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious. You know, last season, Thaddeus Young was moved from Minnesota to Brooklyn, guys. A good move for everybody involved as he helped with the playoff push.
Young last year, as you mentioned, GA, shipped to Brooklyn, provided good punch off the bench.
Yeah, and Young is so efficient in his scoring that he's a great guy to play heavy minutes off the bench. Shot over 50% from the floor in his games with the Nets.
Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. And Green gets it to go.
Great outside shooting fueling this run.
And the D is getting bombarded. They haven't been able to slow them down the least bit.
Lopez a screen. Johnson with it. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
And Duncan with the basket on the assist by Green. And the Spurs lead by 18.
They just can't miss. Everything they put up, it seems, goes in.
You know, sometimes you're the bug, and sometimes you're the windshield. They are certainly the bugs tonight. Nothing going their way.
And I'm not even sure that I'd want to be the windshield.
No, maybe the windshield wiper.
Yeah,
right.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end of the floor.
Now, here's Parker. They lead by 20. That's the most we've seen. Duncan kicks to Parker. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you've got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one almost always deadly when he's that open.
And here is Parker after the three-pointer from Joe Johnson. Dion. Shot is good off the back rim and in.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Great ball movement.
Here's Larkin. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Lopez kicks to Johnson. Leonard with the steal. Johnson against Green. Another one falls for San Antonio. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Defensively, they played with a lot of energy, and the steals we've seen are a result of that aggressiveness.
You know, adding on to that, you look at their block totals tonight, and you see how feisty they've been on the defensive end this game.
Excellent assist there. Just led him to the perfect spot.
Parker outside. Free throw line jump shot. Brooklyn with the rebound.
Not the best shot right there with a good defender draped all over you.
I agree with you. I mean, not the shot they were hoping for, but he can really cause problems with his defense.
Now here's Johnson. 9 points in the game so far. To the right side. Here's Larkin. And the dunk by Lopez.
And able to pad his stats a little bit there on that play. The board and the bucket.
And you know, Greg, that'll put him in the good graces of that coaching staff, too. My goodness.
Kevin and Greg, hard work on the offensive glass always does that. I mean, his fans will remember the dunk, but the coaches love the rebound.
It's stolen by Johnson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, Joe Johnson in this one, 9 points and the 1 steal.
And if I had to pick what he's done best today, I'd probably lean towards the offensive performance.
Well, just to be a contrarian, I'm going to go to the other side because he's been just as impressive, I think, at the defensive end.
Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. David West, he's checked in for Dion. Ginobili comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
Brown, he's checked in for Johnson. There's a screen by Robinson. Here's Sloan. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. 6 on the shot clock. Robinson, that's good.
And you know, with Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wants to take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. They had their shot, went all in with some of their decisions, unfortunately came up short.
Here's Mills, fouling the basket by Thomas Robinson. Picked by West. Jumper off the screen. No good. And Brooklyn will come the other way. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, a quick 2-game series between the two teams, one in each club's home building.
Well, looky here. We've got an inter-conference matchup. Always interesting to see how two teams match up that don't get a chance to see a whole lot of one another.
Now here's Brown. He has 5. There's a minute 34 left in the third. No good from Duncan.
And that's the shot he has to take.
Exactly. That's the right look. The decision was good. He just didn't execute.
Picked by Bargnani. Here's Sloan. He feeds it to Bogdanovich. Baseline J on the way. Green with the rebound. Spurs leading by 15. To the paint, looking for Ginobili. He gets it there. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And the interior D is really starting to be exposed here. How many layups have they gotten today?
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now here's Brown. No good from Bargnani.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle.
35 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Picked by West. Here's Mills. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
That's his second.
First trip to the line for him here.
At the line for your Spurs, Patty Mills.
And that one misses, so it's both teams making substitutions here. And he misses the second one as well, so he is 0 for 2 that time. Last game for the Spurs, they want to turn it around after the loss to Oklahoma City.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense, or bad if you don't execute them. Shooting is just a byproduct of not screening well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Spurs lead by 19. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth.